Today we're going to be looking at more dragons coming out of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Alright, this is the Whirlwing Stormbrood. This is a 5-mana 4/3 dragon, but it's got that new dual thing. Dynamic Soar. So it's like adventure, except the card doesn't go on an adventure. It actually takes an adventure back into your deck. Sorcery Omen. Put 3+1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Then, of course, if you take this mode, it's got to be shuffled back into your deck. You don't actually get a dragon out of this. But if you don't want to do that, you can always just play it for 5 mana, 4/3 flash flyer, and you may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells as though they had flash. So very, very quick. We went over Ugin in the first one. Somehow you people want to keep talking about Ugin. Maybe we could talk about it at the end of this show. Wow, I can't believe you're posting spoilers. Does anyone really still open the packs to experience it for the first time? Anyway, I put the spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, how do I judge this card? I think it's terrible. Oh no, actually, sorry. You know what? It's got flash. It's not as terrible. You know what? This is not bad. It's not great. I'm not in love with this. But it is it will go very well in an Izzet dragon deck of some sort, where you always have a bunch of mana up. The key is you need to be doing things with at instant speed very, very often to both be threatening, like interaction counter spells, but also maybe randomly you can put a dragon on the battlefield. It's basically how it is. Okay, next card. Where are we here? Desperate times. Coffee crew call for desperate measures. We have a black 1-mana instant. The target creature gets +1/-1 until end of turn, and when it dies under your control this turn, draw 2 cards. What are we killing our creature? Are we sending our own cards to the graveyard when it dies under your control? I guess we could have stolen it from somebody and then killed it. That's possible, but it really sounds like we're harvesting our own creatures. It died, and now we're getting the meat out of it. There's a lot of meat on those bones. It's a one-time skull clamp. Yeah, we are killing our own creatures here. What's going on? Who would actually want to be here? Who would want to be on our team, for that matter? All right, so I'm actually going to guess this is not too bad. Is theoretically removal... But it's also... Oh, no, maybe it's... Okay, it's theoretically removal. It can draw you 2 cards, but it's just replacing, like, the card from your hand and something else. Okay, I take it back. I was thinking... Is this any better? There are some cards, aren't there, that's like pay 1, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Isn't this just strictly worse? Except that you can interact a little bit with the opponent. You know what? Some weirdo out there, they're going to make it work. They're going to get value out of this, so I guess we're going to have to say it's okay. Okay, Pabno with a super chat. If we can find it on Scryfall, great. If we can't, you're waiting to the end of the show. Mysteries Village. I'll have to change something here. Okay, Mysteries Village. Oh my god, this card. I'm just kidding. It's not that broken. Mystery Village is a land. The land enters tapped unless you control a mountain or a forest. Looking at you, Teamer players. Or Izzet players, or Simic players. It taps for a blue mana, and for a blue tap, the next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. Not gonna happen around here. That's right. You got counter spells? F them. I'm gonna get right through them with the Mysteries Village. I think this is either a lot of people are saying, well, this is like a game changer. You know, counterspell decks are gonna go broke. I don't think so. What is that land that already makes cards uncounterable? It's not any spell. I think it's only instants and sorceries. So this is sort of an upgrade in that regard. But I think it's basically the same. It's something like... Or at least this actually has an activation cost. It's pretty expensive. So basically, the spell you cast plus 2 mana makes it uncounterable. That's the cost. Because you have to tap a blue, you have to tap this land, and you're good to go. Why does MTG keep crashing the stock in counterspells? You know what? Counterspell isn't low enough, apparently. But you know what? They're going to even out one day. One day they're going to make exile target spell. And then, we're back in business. It just stifle it. Yeah, that's yeah, you could do that actually. Activate this thing. Because you do have to do it ahead of time. So anyway, it's not a strictly better card. Cavern of Souls makes your creatures uncounterable. Yeah. There's a lot of ways of getting under counter spells these days. That's what I'm saying. Boseiju. The old Boseiju who shelters all. So we've been here, all right? We've been here before. This isn't new. Comes into play tapped, just like this card. And then we got tap, pay 2 life, add 1 mana, one generic mana to your mana pool. And if it's spent to cast an instant or sorcery spell, it can't be countered by spells or abilities. So this is just more expensive, but more flexible. You can make any of your stuff uncounterable. So in that regard, I think this card is... I don't really want to say it's better, because this card doesn't even see a whole lot of play. It sees play in, like, basically combo decks. I think for 2 extra mana, this is going to be it's going to be good in Commander, but overall a pretty overrated card. I'm not that fearful of this thing. I probably won't even be playing it myself. All right, back to the... I don't really want to call it the freebie section. The section with the cards in order. We got the Magmatic Hellkite. This is a 4-mana 4/5 dragon with flying. When this creature enters, destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. Its controller searches their library for a basic land card, puts onto the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffles. So not exactly... What's it called? It's not exactly a demolition field. The land is going to be incapacitated for a turn. This reminds me of Avalanche Riders. It was also a 4-mana card, blew up a land. This card might be more dangerous, though. It is, after all, a 4/5 flying creature. It still sets you back a turn. Like, that's tempo, one way or another. It's almost like, it's pretty similar to tap target land and opponent controls. It does not untap until their next... Like, it doesn't untap during their next untap step. It's pretty much the same thing. Feels like a custom card. I'm telling you, Corbinek, all these cards feel like custom cards now. I can't tell the difference. You look at that Ugin card, and you tell me that's not a custom card. The only way we can do that is because we know it's not a custom card. Literally was printed by Wizards of the Coast. Storm Scale Scion. Oh no, I'm not looking up. I'm only looking at. I'll look up super chatted cards. I'll look up that one. But we're gonna be in order. Otherwise, I don't know what we have looked at and have not looked at yet. I think we did the Scion last time. Maybe. Okay, so this card, I think this card looks pretty good. This card could actually see play. It's a pretty chunky creature for 4 mana, and it flies. And I'm pretty sure that destroying the land is going to be relevant, and stunning the land is also going to be relevant. Imagine you're a little bit head up. Imagine mana ramping this thing on the play. Turn 1 mana dork, turn 2 land, turn 3 play this, blow up your opponent's land. That's got to be really frustrating. The only thing is the opponent has to have a non-basic land, but like, who doesn't have non-basic lands these days? Were you Mono Mountain? No, I don't think so. You're not Mono Mountain. Okay, we got another super chat here from Alex Gibson. So if the card is, if I can find it on Scryfall, we'll look it up. The Future Way. And if it's a card we've looked at before, I'll be more than happy to look it up again. What? Okay, I'll translate this for everybody. Right here, let's do it this way. So you can all read it if you want to. It's an instant for 5 mana. The next time a source of your choice would deal you damage, prevent that damage. When the damage is prevented this way, the Future Way deals that much damage to that source's controller, and you draw that many cards. Not in love with it. Honestly. I think it's a... You're mentioning it's like Deflecting Palm on steroids. Problem is, Deflecting Palm is hard to use and doesn't see a whole lot of play. And the main reason is, like, even for 2 mana, it's too expensive to get people. And this looks even more expensive. But maybe I'm wrong, because, you know, you can sniff out Deflecting Palm very easily in a Boros stack. Maybe it's going to be a little bit harder when it's a Jeskai deck or a Wooburg deck. You know, they have a bunch of mana open. Maybe they've got a flash creature. Maybe, like, you know, they got 5 mana open. Maybe they got counter spells up. You would never know. Maybe certainly in one-on-one Magic, this is going to be it's terrible. No one's gonna play this. I think. Instant. Next time a sorcerer choice would deal damage, you prevent that damage. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be totally dead wrong about this. Like in a Jeskai control deck, maybe they would play this. But it doesn't answer what's on the board is the problem. Sorcerer choice, when you prevent that damage, draw, you may... what is it? The future way deals that much damage to that sorcerer's controller, and you draw that many cards. So if I attack for 10, I could end up getting really screwed here. So it's like life gain, card draw, and redirect damage. You know what? I take it back. I could be wrong about this card. I'm just thinking about like how backbreaking a card like Settle the Wreckage is, and this is sort of in the same. It's in the same ballpark as something like Settle the Wreckage. So if you come at me for like even 5 damage, 5 cards is insane. Like, I can't underestimate that. So you know what? I'm gonna say this is good. It's definitely gonna be good in Commander, and it has actually massive potential in maybe all constructed forms of Magic: The Gathering. Actually, very, very possible. So I completely take it back. It's possible this card's gonna see a lot of play. Okay, back to the freebie section. If I can call that a freebie section. We got Disruptive Stormbrood. It's a 5-mana 3/3 flyer. When this creature enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. I would say that sort of sucks. We have a lot of cards out there that do that. It's not even that big of a dragon either. It's just a 3/3. Now it's got the Omen sorcery, Petty Revenge for 2 mana. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Now that is good. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so you have a pretty good versatile 2 mana removal spell. Frankly, if you're spending 2 mana, you're going to... If you're spending 2 mana to kill something, very often it's going to have, 3 or less power. So I think that's pretty versatile, and you just randomly have a dragon attached to it. So when you're like late in the game, you know what? Just top decking a random dragon when you need it is completely fine. It's not the size of the dragon, it's how you use it! Brandon Hall. You couldn't be more right. There's going to be cards in this set it pairs well against. Absolutely. Okay, so I think this is a good card. I actually don't like the dragon part of it, but the Petty Revenge part actually is quite nice. It's interesting how this works in Limited, because you can use the Petty Revenge and you're definitely going to get the card back into the deck, and it's actually quite realistic that you're going to draw it. United Battlefront, we did that one last time. Very, very dubious card, but has high potential. The Aegis Sculptor, not to be mistaken with Jace the Mind Sculptor. A 4-mana 2/3 Bird Wizard with flying. And Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. 4-mana 3/4, maybe. With flying? Nah. Is that an adventure card? No, it's something called an Omen. So when you play the Omen side, the card doesn't go to exile like an adventure. It actually gets shuffled back into your deck. Similar, but different. Did we see this already? I don't remember. We got Krumar! The Initiate. This is a 2-mana 2/2 human. Pay a black and an X tap. Pay X life. This creature endures X. Activate only as a sorcery. So what is Endure? Put X +1/+1 counters on it, or create an XX white spirit creature token. Oh, okay. So we buff it up, or we actually just make another creature entirely with this thing. Can we do that over and over again? Endures X. Activate only as a sorcery. So I have to, on my turn, make this creature. Limited. Limited filler. Yeah, limited filler garbage. You can use that effect multiple times, though? Yes. But here's the problem, Corbinek. I don't even know if I want to use it once. Ha! Huge. Throwing huge shade at the Krumar. Okay, here to channel Fireball. Well, how about Channeled Dragonfire? This is a red sorcery. Channeled Dragonfire deals 2 damage to any target. Oh, I've seen that before. What, red? A red shock at sorcery? What, are you kidding me? What is harmonize? I don't even know. I don't even remember what harmonize is. This is like an AI generated card. They give you this mechanic and no explanation whatsoever. And they have the space for it too. What is wrong with them? Harmonize mechanic MTG. Harmonize allows you to cast a card from your graveyard by paying its harmonize cost rather than paying its mana cost. What the hell is the difference between this and flashback? Are they morons? What's the difference? Okay, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its harmonized cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power, then exile this spell. Ah, okay. So it's like it's convoke and flashback together as one. That's basically not what they're doing. They're gonna combo other mechanics together to create new mechanics. Yeah, you read my mind. Oh yeah, Superman. This card's trash. Probably a limited card. We got Attuned Hunter. This is a 3-mana 3/3 human ranger with trample. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Ooh, it was close to being interesting. If one or more cards leave your graveyard on any turn, I think that's very, very interesting. Now, there's a lot of ways of buffing this card up. You can, for example, delve. You can use graveyard hate, self-graveyard hate. So there's a lot of ways of buffing this thing up. That being said, I think it's mostly jank. It's going to be at best, it's going to be a 3-mana 10/10 with trample. Dies to a lot of cards, but doesn't die to that shock, mind you, even with the harmonize. Card looks fun. Attuned. Yeah, this is definitely a fun build-around card. This is you're going to throw that in your Funzy deck to play against your friend's starter deck. Okay, next up. We've got... I can't read it. It's called Descendant of the Storms. It's a white human soldier. It's a 2/1. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay a 1 and a white. If you do, it endures 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on it, and also make a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Garbage. Not worth it. Did we hit the bottom of the barrel already? Did they just put all the good ones at the top? There's got to be better cards. There's got to be more cards out here. We didn't even tap into the beautiful harmonized mechanic yet. Next up, we're going to have a 2-mana sorcery called Ureni's Rebuff. That's usually the sound of a counterspell. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Okay, boing. Not a counterspell, but rebuffed one way or another. Harmonize. Highlighted Harmonize. For 6 mana. Okay, so I can return creature. I can bounce a creature back to hand, and I can also cast this from my graveyard. That's about it. Well, this card, you know what? If I can play this from my graveyard, this card's a little bit more playable than that. Oh, it's sorcery speed. You're right, Coffee Crew. Kano. Why is my unsummoned sorcery speed at 2 mana? Because I gave you 2 cards at the same time. Oh yeah, this is terrible. RIP. RIP unsummons. They're making them 2 mana and at sorcery speed these days. Bounce spells were already pretty bad. They made them worse. The Unrooted Ancestor. Basically took them back from the graveyard to get them back to work. 3 mana for a 3/2 Spirit Cleric with Flash. How many Flash cards are in black? That feels unusual. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature. This creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. That's pretty good. I think this Zyber is pretty hard. You do have to have 4 mana up, and you need a type of creature that's expendable. But I don't think this is that bad. The only downside to this card is it doesn't really have any evasion, and you can't consider it like a chump blocker because it's realistically going to you're gonna lose something anyway. It's like Tyvar but worse. Yeah, it's got flat. The key is on the flash. Because black doesn't mind having a bunch of mana up. All right, they like to kill things. They got removal spells. They got spells and they want to use it. Isn't that regenerate? No, it's indestructible. Now, there's a big difference between regenerate and indestructible. Regenerate removes the card from like combat. Indestructible doesn't. It'll just tap it. So like it will definitely deal its damage to whatever the hell blocked it or is blocking it. What does Harmonize do? It's flashback and convoke combined, basically. But it's only you can only pay for the colorless part of the card. You can tap creatures to play cast spells from your graveyard. Mono red is getting more mana dorks. What? Is that true? Okay, I'm gonna say it's not bad. It's not bad. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse out there. Okay, we got the Sunset Strike Master. It is a what the hell is this? It's a red mana dork. Color Pie Break. Does that exist? And it's a 3/1 creature. Okay, 2 mana 3/1 that taps for mana, and also for 3 mana, tap, sacrifice this creature. It deals 6 damage to target creature with flying. Weird. We have a mana rock in red. Mono red mana dork Zybers with me. So, yeah, somebody's calling out for this card. It must be. It has to be a thing to do with the dragons. Like so many of these dragons are at 4 mana, so it's just a way of curving into them, but without having to splash green. So you can be in like Mardu. You can be in Mardu. Is it? You just don't need to be in the green color pie in order to ramp. The color pie. It's been ruined for forever. They're just removing more and more things from the color pie. You know, screw the color pie. The pie is a big mess. It's a meat pie now. It's just a meat pie. It's got everything in it. Red does have the occasional mana dorks. I'm not familiar with them. I mean, I know some things where you can like sacrifice to get mana, but I don't know. I personally don't know any of like just mono red tap to get mana. It's a super Doom Beep. I can't remember what Doom Beep even did. This is officially in red now, guys. All right, it's official. It's probably going to be a fine commander card. Outside of commander, crap. It's probably good and limited too. Okay, what kind of relic is this? This is the Dragon Brood's Relic, a 2 mana artifact. Tap to tap and untap creature you control. Add 1 mana of any color. So it's just Springleaf Drum. It's a much crappier Springleaf Drum. That's what I'm reading here. Instead of it's 2 mana instead of 1 generic. But it does have the special activated ability of Wooburg and 3 generic. Sacrifice this artifact to create a 4/4 dragon creature token named Reliquary Dragon. That's all colors. It has flying, lifelink, and when this token enters, it deals 3 damage to any target. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, so, but why can't we just have this for, like, 1 green mana? I think that would be fine. I don't think this had to be, like, 2 mana. Maybe I'm wrong. I think for a green, they could have printed this thing. Because it would just be like, it'd be like a green Springleaf Drum. 2 mana for this is too much. Oh, the creature that deals 1 damage is Doom Beep. Yeah, red usually sacks artifacts, makes treasures, sacks themselves for mana. That's what I'm familiar with. Tapping for mana, not really. This is not the magic Garfield wanted. Well, Garfield wanted the game to end on turn 1, so... most of Magic the Gathering history is not what Garfield wanted. Might see play in decks where you want to tap the creatures, maybe Merfolk. Absolutely not. Never. I would never play this card in Merfolk. How the hell do I pull off this thing? The Wooburg thing. Anyway, I don't like it for the most. It's for casual, it's fine. For competitive, awful. Not expecting much out of this. The Dalcoven Pack Beasts. A 3 mana 0/4 Ox with Vigilance. 3 mana for a Vigilance Ox. And I don't care if it has Mobilize. So the idea is it can attack, and you attack with it says Mobilize 3, so you attack with 3 1/1 red warriors. No, not worth it. Very poor. I hope these aren't going to all become stone dead garbage cards from here on out. Roiling Dragonstorm, a 2-mana enchantment. When this enchantment enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. It's broken! It's already broken! I don't even know what the second side is. This is going to see play. I have no idea what the other half of this is. You want to draw 2 cards and discard 1. You still net 1 card. This is just up the beanstalk all over again. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Honestly, that's a lot worse. Up the beanstalk was a lot up the beanstalk was better because like the cards stayed in play, so you just cast cards. So if this had like, but it's still a draw 2, discard 1 is, you know, very usable in a multitude of graveyard-based decks. So I still see this card as seeing a lot of play. There were cards like Omen of the Sea. I think it was when it enters the battlefield, you like scry 2. And that was, I think that was it. What did Omen of the Sea do? And that saw a lot. Oh, but it was, I think it had flash. Omen of the Sea. Let's take a look at this card. Omen of the Sea. Oh, it had flash. That was the kicker. That's what made it playable. 2 mana. Enters the battlefield, scry 2, then draw a card. Otherwise, it also 3 mana, sack it, scry 2. So this might be still quite a bit a ways from being on the same power level, but still 2 mana, draw 2, discard 1, with potentially recurable effects, potentially blink it. From a set called Dragonstorm, you would think they'd have a card Dragonstorm in it. Well, they do have a card that's a dragon that does conduct storm. Total Duck has an idea. Fun thing to do, play this, then cast a dragon, so this goes back to your hand, and play it again. Keep doing that. Oh, you mean the obvious. Play a 1 mana shapeshifter. Hey, that actually could be an idea. That could be real. The enchantment doesn't do anything once it hits, so it's a reoccurring card draw. Well, remember, it does fuel the graveyard. So you draw 2, discard 1, think Reanimator, think Flashback, think Harmonize, I suppose, think Delve, and so on. So I would bet that this card, even if you don't have Dragon Synergy, it might see play. Okay, next up, Venerated. The Venerated Storm Singer. Well, that's funny because I don't think this person's singing at all. This is a 4 mana 3/3 Orc Cleric with Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If this was a little bit cheaper, I think this would be pretty good. Maybe it still is. The ability is not bad, and the Mobilize 1 is interesting because like people sort of want to block the token because it's just easy and free, but it's actually not free in this case because they're going to still lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. In fact, it would be worse if you block the token because of the life gain. Yeah, it's probably a limited thing. It probably had to be less mana. Probably whenever this creature or another creature you control dies. Well, it's another Blood Artist, right? But I guess it's just too clunky. It's a chunky Blood Artist. Blood Artist is working out. This guy, who is the guy in the bad guy in was it the Fantastic Four? The person that controlled Silver Surfer. That's who I see here. I don't remember what the guy's name is though. Galactica? Is that what his name is? Galactus? I think this is I don't remember what his name is. It's Galactus? I think this looks like Galactus. This is giving me strong Galactus vibes. Anyone agree with me? You better give a thumbs up to this video. No, definitely not giving me Doc Doom vibes. Giving me Galactus vibes. Not really super familiar with that lore. Just a little bit. I played the Silver Surfer game on NES. Huge fan of it. It's great. Okay, we're going to take a look at more of these Dragonstorm cards. But let me tell you where you can buy them. You can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite sponsor. Where's the Drake? See, Tarkir Dragonstorm. Spoilers are out. Pre-order at your pleasure. Not to mention, we also have the deal of the week, which is 20% off all sleeves. Hey, if you play in tournaments, if you play in Commander, you want to sleeve up your cards. They're valuable. 20% off sleeves. Not to mention the Fusion Gaming Open, April 12th to 13th, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'll definitely be there. They're going to have Modern, Standard, and Commander, and a whole lot more fun. But when you buy your, when you get your spoiled cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get an additional 5% off your entire purchase. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You like competing in Magic the Gathering? You like playing creative decks? Well, rent your cards on Magic Online. Don't buy them. That'd be foolish. You're locked into one deck. You like to play a lot of decks, so you can rent the cards. Send them back when you're done to play more decks. When renting with Mana Traders, you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your third month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_BKS. Maybe that Mox Dragon card is amazing. Maybe it's trash. You don't know. Don't take that chance. Rent with Mana Traders. Look how I'm filling you all with fear. It's a strategy. Be scared of buying cards. Rent them. Okay, we have a 4-mana, 2/4 dog bunk called Equilibrium Adapt. I didn't know a dog could be a monk. When this creature enters, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Flurry! When you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gains double strike until end of turn. It's probably Draft Chaff. Probably. It has 2 good abilities, but it's 4 mana, which I'm not particularly thrilled about. A lot of dogs in this set. Wizards of the Coast Marketing have discovered that our customers love dogs. We have to put more dogs in these sets, which is kind of funny because I think on, at least on social media, more people share pictures of their cats than their dogs. There are dog people on Tarkir now. Don't remember them being there before. They just randomly showed up from, I don't know, Kamigawa. Were there dogs in Kamigawa? I want to say there were dogs in Kamigawa. They just, you know what? This is a different timeline. I don't know which timeline, but it's a different one. What Benjamin says, I'm going to buy the Power 9 in mint condition and play them in a tournament without sleeves. Oh, God. What are the dogs doing? Well, the real question is who let the dogs out? Okay, I'm going to have to make an executive decision. They planeswalked their dogs. And they didn't spay or neuter them. And now the dogs, they're just another population on this plane in Tarkir. I like that. They planeswalk their dogs. Who do you think has a dog? Maybe all of them? They never talk about their pets. Jace, Nissa, Liliana. Tarkir had dogs in it? Okay, we're just gonna have to take Toad's word for it. The Rite of Renewal, a 4-mana sorcery. Return up to 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Target player shuffles up to 4 target cards from their graveyard into their library. Exile Rite of Renewal. Did we do this one? Either way, it's like okay, but not great. The problem is it's sorcery. It's a half graveyard removal, half regrowth. Lots of dogs and Abzan. Makes some sense. Kalansa says, why does this set hate my bank account with all those dragon scale foil lands? Why does this set hate? No, it loves your bank account. I think your bank account or you don't. Oh, you don't like the lands? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I think the lands are very debatable. Okay, Rite of Renewal. Where are those lands anyway? Okay, we're at Static. I'm gonna go back to Static Snare. You talking about the basic lands? I can't find. Oh, these things? Who likes these lands? I think they're neat, but I don't want to play with them, to be honest. I think this is cooler as a creature. They have a creature with the eyeball as a plains. I think that's cool. But as where'd they go? I would never play with these damn things. Real Maxim loves them. All right, we have 100% of our pollsters say that they love these lands. The blue one is pretty clear. They're all clear, so that's a good thing. They're not going to be one of those midnight haunt lands where you're like, what the hell is that thing? Let's definitely look at it, card. Dragon players eating good with this set with these lands. I think the Dragon's Eye land artwork Zybers. All right, we are still at 100%. How weird would it be to have pupils in those shapes? Would you even notice a difference in vision? Have you ever... Arian234, have you ever heard of custom contact lenses? Hell, that should be that's what they should sell. Wizards should sell contact lenses that look like that. You can show up to your you can show up to F&M with the skull, the purple skull contact lens. Those exist. I already have trouble recognizing a lot of basics these days. Yeah, they're just lenses. Yeah, you've been put on notice. You now know about the contact lenses. You can be any eye color in this world today. Anything is hell. Okay, we have one hater. We got our first hater. Max is like this. That's ugly. You know, I appreciate your honesty. So the dragons wear contacts. Well, you know, when you're that old, when you're that old and you fly, it's really hard to hold the glasses in place. Also, where's their? Do they have ears to put those glasses? I assume that they would slide off. We look at the mountain over here. Let's take a look at the mountain. I think the mountain's the best one. Somehow the fire symbol, the mountain symbol, just looks the best. It like represents a pupil and the mana at the same time. Careful, Nikachu, you'll have the Pinkertons at your doorstep saying you stole their idea for contacts. Personally, not a fan, but they're neat, I guess. I will not be playing with these cards. I do think they're neat. I do think they're neat. I'm not going to get myself any foil copies of this. Okay, we got the forest. Forest is not so bad either. Real Maxim's a red player at heart. Just look at the old Nicol Bolas. He's wearing glasses, I think. Yeah, but he's at home. He's at home reading. He's not in danger. He's not flying around and doing battles. When you know you're going to be out doing do you see anyone with I don't know, does anyone wear glasses while playing hockey? Maybe they do. I don't know. And I never pay attention. I imagine in like certain contact sports, you just can't be wearing glasses. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe wearing glasses is totally fine. But it's probably ideal to wear contact lenses. I'm talking out of my butt here, though. Could be just dead wrong on all these things. Maybe contact lenses, if it gets loose, you're screwed. We have some Neato basic lens as well. This is necessary. Let's just make this big. Look, behold the basic lands. I'm actually not in love with either of these. None of them are zybering with me. The red one, I guess, looks the best. Problem is, like, there are so many full art basic lands that they're no longer... You sort of lost the luster for them. There's just so much competition out there. Nicol Bolas' eyes were too sensitive for contacts. He was that old. I didn't know that the older you get, the worse contacts get. The dragon glasses lore is deep. The lands with Dragon's Shadow are the best. What else do we have? We have, oh man, the basics. They're poop. I don't know what to say about that. I'm really sorry to the artists. It's almost like they asked them, intentionally not make this so great. You can feel how bland it is. Maybe they're told in advance, you know what, this is like a basic land. That's about it. Wow, we got new cards here. Okay, maybe you want to take a look at some of these cards? What do we got here? Oh no, we looked at these are just special borders. Special borders, nothing new, nothing unique. Okay, shall we go back? Oh, they got Tri-lands. We got Tri-lands are back, except you can't fetch them out. They're uncommons. I think they're crap. But I'm not playing on a budget, so maybe this meets somebody's need or something. Three sets of lands, total fail. 4 sets of lands, technically. Does anyone need another Teamer land for their Teamer deck? The Frontier by by Voak. I can't pronounce that. Sorry about that. What, we have more dual lands? How many Tranquil Coves do we need? Anyway, the Tranquil Coves are back. And I guess all the other ones. We have the entire fleet. Oh, we have a Dragon Land. Okay, we got Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. This is a land that taps for colorless. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. Ooh. So, Wooburg for dragons. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice this land, search your library for a dragon card, reveal, and put it into your hand. That is awesome. I wish they had that for Merfolk. I'd play this thing immediately. I would love for the ability to sack my damn land late in the game and just get my best card and put it into my hand. Okay, so I think this is unbelievably good. A super staple. Yeah, this is a hype land. I mean, it gives me similar vibes to the Sliver Hive, if not those, but this is way better. Sebstone's like, I need that for my Changeling deck. The Changelings, people. I wonder, is there like a dragon that I can use in Merfolk to use this? No, it's pointless. Otherwise, this is just like a waste. Gain lands, bro. We're so back. We are so back. Okay, this card is unbelievably good for a dragon player. Unbelievably useless, if not. Oh, we have a bunch of these cards. Oh, these are just the full arts. Okay, so they had a bunch of new... We saw the blue one earlier. We'll look at now the white one. The Dalcoven Encampment. This land enters tapped unless you control a swamp or a mountain, but it adds a white nonetheless. For 3 mana tap, whenever you attack this turn, create 2 1/1 red warrior creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. I actually think this card sucks. So effectively, you need to activate this first. And let's say you have 1 creature out. You activate this, which is basically tapping down 4 lands. They could then kill your creature so that it doesn't attack, and then you get nothing. So this has massive blowout potential. If you get to keep the creatures, that'd be fine. But you have to sacrifice them in the end. I don't think that's worth it. I think that's just stone cold terrible. Still hoping for a Supplies blue-red dragon reprint. A reprint? Don't you want a new card? Don't you like new cards here? It's for the warrior decks, but bad. Well, the thing is, it can go in any deck potentially. It doesn't actually need to be in warriors. You'll see a lot of playing commander. Well, they'll play it, but I still don't think it's good. I think this is a bust. I think it's better to pay 4 mana and you just get 1 creature and you get to keep it for forever. Okay, next up, the Great Arashin City is a land. It enters tapped unless you control a forest or a plains, adds a black mana. Then for 2 mana, tap, exile a creature card from your graveyard to create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. This is literally that. There's already a land that does this. LOL, Nikachu reading Dragon as blue-red dragon. Oh yeah, that's I keep forgetting. There's literally a card called Dragon. I totally forgot about that. I don't know. It's just my brain has been wired. You are means is it, and it can't mean anything else. They literally named a dragon which is just stupid. Orient says, I'm kind of hyped for the Mardu Devotee in Pauper. Ooh, yeah, this might be a huge Pauper shakeup. So anyway, this card already exists in, what's it called? There is some spirit card. It's like, I think it's 2 mana, tap it, exile a spirit from your graveyard to make a 1/1 spirit, or exile a creature card from your graveyard to make a 1/1 spirit. This is the exact, very, very similar. I don't remember what the token generator is. And that card honestly doesn't see any play. So I imagine this card is going to see very little play. Now, the upside to this, I believe that this does tap for black mana, whereas the card that I'm thinking tap for colorless. So it might be the difference between this seeing play and not. So I could be totally wrong, and maybe this will finally see play, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Could see play in Orzhov. Kori Mountain Monastery. This is a land. Enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. Tap for a red. 4 mana. Tap. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that. Card. That's actually pretty damn good. If you're empty-handed, like this card will see play. This card will see play. This is a very, very strong card. I'll tell you why. It's probably going to see play in mostly control decks. Is it control decks? Jeskai control decks. Maybe some other decks. Because like in any event where you're just passing the turn and doing nothing, especially when you're empty-handed, you just activate this at end of turn. Because it's until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. And you can play the lands! So if you get any lands off this thing, that's great too. Oh yeah, this is a this is going to be the best land of all the lands that they printed. Because this is a no-brainer slam dunk in multitudes of decks over there. The white land makes infinite tokens if you got infinite attack phases. But you also need... Oh, does it trigger every attack? Interesting. It's a weird way to combo. But it works, I suppose. Reminds me of Castle Lothwain. Oh, you're talking about, I think, the what? I'm not sure. Maybe the white one? Oh, sorry. Oh, this card. Castle Lothwain is the one where you lose life, draw a card. This one is lose no life, draw the card anyway. And yeah, perfect. Costs 1 more mana, though. Costs 1 more mana. In my opinion, it's way better, though. the infinite attack steps definitely win more. Okay, this card is awesome. Wait, what else are we missing here? We have a bunch of artifacts. We didn't talk about Mox Jasper. It's a Mox. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Activate this if you control a dragon. Is it broken? Does it danger? You know, for anyone that doesn't know me, I hate Moxen. 2 thumbs down to Moxen. They break the game. Always they break the game. The only fair Mox is a banned Mox. It's the only way you can make Moxen fair. That being said, there are some incredible stinkers to Moxen, and they all have one thing in common. They can't be played like very early in the game. Basically. This one, I don't know, maybe it can be played on turn 3, maybe if you can get a 4 mana dragon out. Turn 1 or 2 mana ramp, turn 3 play one of those dragons, then play this. But then what are you going to do with it? Play lightning bolt or something? I feel it'd be better if you could only use the mana on dragons. It's all right. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea, Baxter. I actually like that. So, like, it's a Mox for a very specific deck, but you can't use it on anything else. Yes. Again, the changelings. Let's go. So there's a lot of changelings for 1 mana too. Yeah, we have 1 mana dragons, the changelings. Fair Mox cards shouldn't exist. Wow. I mean, I have nothing against them. So I think this card's gonna be okay. I don't think this card is going to break the game. Hopefully not. I just doubt it. If you have to play the big chunky creature first, then get your mana acceleration, that seems all right with me. Merfolk Mox went. Wow, we're going back to what's it called? We're going back to Merfolk World soon in 2025. It was either 2025 or early 2026. We're going back to Lorwyn. And in Lorwyn, maybe they'll have Mox Coral. Tap, add 1 mana of any color, activate only if you control a merfolk. Yeah, Lorwyn. I'm loving Lorwyn. Don't disappoint me, Wizards. Oh, God, don't disappoint me. Please, please save me. Give me something. Give me anything. Give me some competitive early drop merfolk crap. I need it. Okay, what other artifacts do we have? We've got the Abzan Monument. It's a 2-mana artifact. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic plain, swamp, forest card, reveal it, put it to your hand, then shuffle. So it doesn't really accelerate you, but it replaces itself. It's almost like basic land cycling. And then for 4 mana, tap, sack it, create an XX white spirit creature token where X is the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Activate as a sorcery. Not in love with it. Not Zybring with me, that's for sure. The Jeskai Monument, a 2-mana artifact. When it enters, search your library for an island or a mountain or a plains card. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. 4 mana, tap, sack it. Create 2 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying. Activate only as a sorcery. I think these cards are actually actively bad. It's probably like draft mana fixing for the most part. If you're like a greedy 5-color deck. Because you can search for any of these basics. Okay, Sultai, get the Sultai lands, 5 mana. Sack it, create 2/2 black zombie druids. Terrible. Monkeys, paw curls. Lauren has amazing merfolk, but they're all mono white. I'll take it. You know what? Honestly, I would absolutely take that. Give me the mono white merfolk. I'll play them. Just give me... Yeah, I mean, they made crappy merfolk in green. Mardu. Don't mind if I do. 2 mana, get a Mardu land. 5 mana, tap, sack it, create 3 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. They gain menace and haste until end of turn. That's actually... This is the best one, and it still sucks. Terrible. That is easily the best one, though. Okay, what does the Teamer one do? 6 mana, sack it, create a 5/5 green elephant creature token. This is the best one. I still don't like it because of the 6 mana. Monuments are limited only? Yeah, I agree. This is limited chaff. Limited to being bad. Okay, we got an artifact creature. I'm always excited for artifact. It's a foo dog! They got foo dogs in Tarkir. Why didn't we see foo dogs in Kamigawa? Well, I guess culturally it's a different thing. Kamigawa is more in the Japanese culture. Okay, it's a 2 mana 2/1 Chimera. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it again. If you control a dragon, put the card on the battlefield tapped instead. What's up with looking for lands? We're all looking for lands here. Changeling support will be crazy in Lorwyn. Reminder, it's where we got Changeling from. Maybe they'll make a busted 1 mana Changeling. The one Changeling to rule us all. Okay, next up, we got Watcher of the Wayside, a 3 mana 3/2. When this creature enters, target player mills 2 cards and you gain 2 life. Also, no. Not excited. Not... How do we measure different levels of excited? It's like instant pre-order, opening wallet, trying to get... And then there's maybe people who print the proxies off like instantaneously. Those are all the levels of excited. Okay, the Jade Cast Sentinel, a 4 mana 1/5. I've seen enough. Reach, pay 2, tap. Put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. More limited cards. Okay, it's a dragon. We got a colorless dragon here. Okay, don't disappoint us, dragon. 5 mana 3/3 dragon, flying in vigilance. When this creature attacks, surveil 1. I hate it. Busted with the Doctor Who lady that makes you draw from the bottom. It's possible. It's a build around card. Okay, anything else we're missing here? They got like a bunch of multicolor cards. We got the Glacier Siege. Glacier Siege is a 3 mana enchantment. As it enters, choose Teamer or Sultai. What the hell? Teamer or Sultai? Oh, because they share the Simic colors. I'm like, why are we choosing these random ones? Okay, we have a... as this enchantment enters, choose Teamer or Sultai. Teamer! When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 4 cards. Sultai may play lands from your graveyard. So this is like a Crucible of Worlds with upside in Simic. That's... I just don't know when anyone would use the Teamer side. The Teamer side sucks. Why do I recognize the error sound effect? Well, I do use the same sound effect in my for the videos on my main channel. There's a white common dragon that's surprisingly close to Sarah Angel at common. Oh, interesting. Why is Teamer milling? Good question. We'll have no answers to that. Pamno, did we do the Sib Sig ceremony? We will now. The Sib Sig. I heard about that card. Why is everyone getting so excited over this thing? Okay, the Sib Sig ceremony is a triple black legendary enchantment. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Why? I don't understand what this card's trying to do.
No, God, please, no.
Whenever a creature you control enters. So I got cheap creatures and then they just die instantly. What is the point? How do you build around this card? Combo card? How? Like, I don't know, turning my Ornithopters into 2/2s? But they were already free. Yeah, we were thinking on the same wavelength, Big Mike. We were thinking on the same wavelength. But then what's the point of the creature spells you cast cost 2 less? Whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature. I don't understand this damn thing. Yeah, fill your grave. Yeah, we're gonna cast our creatures so that they can die, so that we can reanimate them. That sounds like the most that sounds like the most bass-ackwards way of reanimating anything. Some express ire when new races are revealed to have always existed in a world, like Ixalan's Malamant. How do you feel about Ravnica and Avishkar revealing that they have merfolk? Well, I feel great about it. But honestly, I'm not a big person about the lore. I really don't care. Well, in some sense, I care because I hate when we go to like say Tarkir, and I know there's no merfolk there. So I'm instantaneously not super excited for the set. Although I know I can always find maybe some cool instant and sorcery cards. The goal is to use the ETBs, but if you have creatures that are either indestructible or come back, for instance, enduring cards from Duskmourn. Okay, I guess. So they die, so you get the ET. So basically every card is like, it's a little bit cheaper, and you get a 2/2 plus the ETB. What kind of ETBs are you getting, though? Remember, these ETBs have to be mostly in black. This is a heavy black card. I think this card sucks. But this is the type of card people are going to build around it no matter what, and I think they're going to fail miserably. That's what I think. That's what I think about the Sib Sig ceremony. I think this is a card. It reminds me of, what's it called? What's the 2-mana enchantment? All your creatures get -1/-1, but they cost 2 less to cast. I don't remember what this card is. I don't play this card. It's a huge Timmy card, though. Massive Timmy card! People love Timmy cards. And this is just going to be in that category. This is going in a category of unplayable, but people are going to play it anyway. Heartless Summoning, that's right. This is Heartless Summoning 2.0. People have played this card to death to make it work. To death! And it has failed miserably every step of the way. This card has never been good. Ever. But I know casual players love this card to, by all means. All they do is shrink their creatures to play big creatures out early. It just doesn't work. The downside is too high. Unfortunately for them. So this is the same thing, but it's harder to cast. And you don't get to keep the creature. Now that I look at these two cards, this card is worse. It's just way worse. Why do I want to have a 2/2 black zombie when I could just have the big creature that I put in play in the first place? Can play both, yeah. Oh my god. They came out with Sib Sig Ceremony. That'll go great in my Heartless Summoning deck. Best I ever got was the Perilous Havengold combo. Well, I mean, people have made decks, but they were just never like they were never competitive. They were always relegated to like jank. This card is proof that Wizards has finally run out of stuff to make. I think it's a pretty unique card, to be honest. And I would say maybe the creatures you cast cost 2 less to cast concept hasn't been explored enough. Because like I said, this card, it sees a lot of play, but is nowhere like within the power level, nowhere within like strong power level. So maybe they can try to push it or explore different variations of creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. This might be relegated to donate target world. I mean, now your opponent, they can cast their cards, but like they just all die instantly. So I mean, this is probably I agree. This is probably better as a donate target. It's like, how are you going to use that? Well, I'm going to donate it to you. Best card in standard for it is Market Back Walker, huh? I think this stuff is spaced by the span of 14 years. I think it's okay. Oh, wow, really? Heartless Summoning. This thing came out in Innistrad 2011. You're right. Crazy. Time flies. Time flies when you're not playing with Heartless Summoning. Then it costs 4 less, and the minus does not matter. LOL, still really bad. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's it for today. If they come up with more cards, I guess we're gonna have a part 3 to this. I think we got to all the, or most of the important cards. Are you gonna play the Sib Sig ceremony? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat, so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you to my coffee crew, the Zyber Nation, who's here today. Hope you're excited for the Tarkir set. People like Natty, Pedgeman, Christopher B, Jacob. We got Pedgeman already. Kano, Pabno, Benjamin Berkey, Lil Dead Fly, Steve Cooper, Toads. Because you're the ones. We got Real Maxime was here. We got the Loki theory. The Loki theory. What theory is that? Dustin, Newbie. Because you're the ones that make the show every single day. So keep brewing up them coffees, my crew, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.